OMG, YPR off, you have to end this ep. At that time, like I was hoping for angst, but in the novel version, these scenes all are present in the novel, especially that Pat asking Pran to hold his hand. In the novel Pran is also hesitant, but in the series, they improvised and make Pran more confident. That I loved it. So today's episode was a hell of a roller coaster. Like, let's talk about the things I liked, but fun fact that kiss in the first part of EP8 is not part of the script. He improvised it by himself, and that xylophone scene, Nanan didn't get a brief what to do exactly at this scene, so this whole is improvised by itself. So I really love that, how Pat is not trying to force Pran to tell about their relationship but asking a consent, even though he uploaded those pictures on his Instagram account, but those pictures weren't clear. He just wanna make sure people that he is hitting on someone so other people won't try to flirt with Pat, and Pran also taking time to adjust quickly, because if these small things were making Pat sad, so will leave them, for example them being openly boyfriends, they can't go to the public. And one more thing I loved it, that Pat and Pran have a really healthy relationship, because they do communicate. They had a fight less than 15 minutes, they cleared it out, because 90% of BL couples have the same problem of communication, so it was refreshing that they are talking to each other. And I was so angry with Pat's dad, like he is such an asshole, like how the hell he could know what his sons want. Like, I hate parents when they think they know what their sons want, like he is really pushing him to do certain things. I really hate his character, and I love how Pran quickly came home just to meet Pat after hearing his sad voice. Then that whole build up of Pat playing that xylophone showing that he is angry was also amazing, and that unexpected curtain to fall that I will never have expected that to happen in the first place. I literally screamed. So in the novel, when both gangs know about their relationship, they took time to adjust, but they accepted them quickly, not like in the series version, like both friends are avoiding them. So I also have a theory that this guy who sees Pat and Pran is Y, because Y also wore a white shirt at that time, and plus it would make sense, so he intentionally drops those curtains because he had those headphones and he could heard everything properly. Thought it, so he probably could have done, because he is angry that Pran advised him not to date Pa because she is the sister of Pat, and on the other hand Pran is dating Pat, and Korn friends are angry. Either they are homophobic, or because their leader lied to them, or he is just making a prank and will support him, because when Pat and Y have a fight it was them who held Pat, so he would stop doing a fight and break their trust. As for PAA, she was supportive in the novel, like she is pretty chill at brother being gay and dating Pran, and she even helped them to communicate. So I am assuming we will get a brother and sister talk between them. So guys, I am back with another spoiler of Bad Buddy episode 11. So in the previous spoilers, Pat was severely injured and Pran took Pat to the hospital. Then Pat has to go to the ICU for the checkup. Then Pran started to cry outside the ICU, blaming himself. Then ICU door opened, doctor told him that Pat is totally fine, just few checkups. Then Pran enters the room and the person is lying on the bed with a big smile. Pran said, "Are you okay?" Then Pat, "I am fine." Then Pat insists Pat to sleep right next to him. He can't sleep properly. Pran said, "You are injured, still playing." Then Pat keeps insisting him. Then Pran finally agree. Then both Pat and Pran sleeps on the hospital bed. The next day Pat was discharged from the hospital. Pat still didn't tell PAA about the incident because he is too afraid. Then Pat went to the college next day. Then he meets his gang, and they told why the hell he is in college, he should have taken rest. Then Pat said he was bored in a room, and Pran was also busy for his project. Then Nock asked top or bottom. Then Pat was confused for a second. Then he got it and smacked his head and said, "We just have kissed." Then Nock said, "We were just teasing." And Pat said, "I can wait, and me being the bottom will not make me a less man." Then Nock said, "We will slowly accept it." Then Pat went to Pran's room and Pran was still focusing on the work that he has to complete this week. Then Pat told Pran that the whole group was talking about them, and the girls were getting crazy after knowing the fact, "I am dating you and I am feeling like a star." It's not like we are getting alienated as I thought would have to happen. Then Pat asked let's go watch a movie but Pran said no to him. Then Pran said he has so much work. But Pat insisted that he is taking too much stress. Let's watch a movie then Pran said. Fine. Then both decide to go watch a movie then Pat tries to hold Pran's hand. Then Pran quickly removed his hand and said we are in public then Pat said what's wrong with boyfriends holding each other's hand? Then Pran's I would take time to feel free in public. Just you alone will have a bad headache. But I don't want to hurry. Do you understand? Then Pat I understand. I will wait for you. Then both Pat and Pran went to watch a movie then after the movie Pat said so now you wanna go home then Pran said. Yes, I had lots of work left then Pat tries to insist but Pran was not in a mind to change his decision then Pat said what about ice cream? After hearing the word ice cream. Pran agreed then both eat ice cream. Then Pat takes a selfie while kissing Pran on his cheeks then Pat said I am going upload this Insta. Then Pran said people will know, and I am not ready then Pat said okay I understand that then Pat and Pran went to their dorm. Then Pat and Pran went to the elevator and Pat back hugs Pran sniff him then Pran hit him with the elbow then they both went to Pran's room and Pran starts to do his work and Pat offers would you like to feed me the ice cream Pran said no because it would be messy but Pat ignored his word and start feeding him ice cream then Pat noticed at Pran's lips that has little bit of ice cream left, so he started to get close at Pran's face the person is still not looking the Pat says his name for 3 times then Pran turn over his head and their nose collide with each other then Pat lean on for a kiss Pran was shocked but he also started to kiss him passionately when they were about to get more intimate then he heard a knock Pran pushed Pat away, then he talks to why that he have some work so don't disturb him. So Pran finally finished his college project then Pran says thanks to Pat for always being there for him. Then Pat asked him for a reward then they have a very intimate moment. Not sex though then next day Pat has to go home because his parents were inviting him to come home for a dinner for the 3rd time so he has to go this time. So he said to Pran that he will be heading to his home he gave him a kiss then he leaves. Then Pat arrived at his home for the dinner he meets his childhood friend Punch and her mother. Also, Pat took a lot of time to understand they are talking about their engagement. Then Pat went to Pa's room talked to her that he doesn't wanna marry Punch because he likes someone. Then Pa asked him more then Pat admits that he is gay and is dating Pran. Then Pa replied that she was right you both are always together. Also, when you are touchy and play big, the other male friends get a little angry. But I thought it was just for fun. I didn't expect it to be true. Then Pat asks her any suggestions so she said they look like Romeo and Juliet then Pat said no. PAA. In the end, I don't want to die. And even if I die, I don't think that bastard will die. He is more pathetic than Romeo. Then Pat said, if our relationship I will die also. Then Pran also goes back to his home his dad advised him to go to England, but Pran really doesn't wanna go, because he likes to study here. After Pran's conversation with his dad he calls Pat, so when he called Pat he hears a distressed voice which made him more anxious so Pat who is hiding about his engagement couldn't able to bring himself to tell Pran the truth. Then after hearing Pat's distressed voice he orders him to meet at his room at 11 PM. So Pat relentlessly agree. Then Pat climbed Pran's window then Pran's dad caught Pat while he was climbing. Then Pran's dad grab Pat by his hand take it his own house and scold him in front of Pat's dad. Then Pran interfere between them and said he called him. Then Pran's dad went to his house and talks to Pran. Then Pran's dad said that's the reason why you are not coming home. Pran's replied it doesn't have to do anything with Pat. Then Pran's dad said his full name loudly Perican. Why didn't you told me you know him? Pran replied I know him since our childhood. Then Pran's dad stop arguing with me. Why are close friends with him? Then Pran replied what's wrong with being friends with boy next door? It's you guys who always fight with each other why are involving us? Then Pran's dad slaps him then Pran got shocked but He quickly said, "You can slap all you want, but I will not stop seeing him." Then he went outside the house. Then he calls Pat, who also got scolded. Then he told, "Let's go out somewhere please." Then Pat and Pran went to a beach for some relaxation. So note in the novel they get caught 3 times by their parents. First their Pran's dad caught Pat climbing on their window. Then next thing they found they are living in the same dormitory. Then both ordered them not live at that dormitory, go back to live with them. Then Pat and Pran have sex in Pran's room. Then they found out that Pran and Pat are boyfriends also. And that slap would be done by Pran's mom in the series.
I hate every single one of you.